Today it will be all about practicality and value for money. Mercedes introduced his first all-terrain model in 2016, and I do understand why. For example, for me, one of the best Volvos on market are V90 Cross Country and XC70, a outdoor estate. One of the best Audis, Audi A6 Allroad. And Mercedes E-Class all-terrain use same recipe. Difference between normal and all-terrain E-Class. First is styling. We have here small changes, but now our E-Class looks like that he's not afraid to get dirty. Second, all-terrain is higher than a normal E-Class on 29mm, thanks to bigger tires and also standard suspension, where you can change the ride height. Before we start to explore interior, exterior, reliability, how it drives, we need to talk about money. Exactly what do you get for your money? Mercedes E-Class is a big and spacious vehicle with a lot of space in the front and enough in the back. Also with a huge boot, 640 liters, one of the biggest in the class, with air suspension and all-wheel drive. Now I will try to explain why it is the best value for money from whole Mercedes lineup. We have two main rivals, GLE and normal Mercedes E-Class. GLE is a little bit more spacious in the interior and with a slightly bigger trunk, 670 liters, but with a 20% higher price as a used car. Also, GLE will have higher running costs. Fuel consumption, definitely more expensive tires, and car is noticeably heavier, around 200 kilos. So you pay more, but you don't get much more. What about normal E-Class estate? If we compare new normal E-Class estate and all-terrain with same extras, the price difference is only around 3%. But if we compare these cars as used, then resale value of all-terrain is 10% higher. It means all-terrain depreciate less, and it is more unique model, bit easier to sell. Interior is advantage of E-Class all-terrain, but only if you accept two things. First, back seats are comfortable, but GLE is more spacious. Second, build quality and some materials. As car getting older, the interior is starting to get loose and make nasty noises. It is noticeably better after facelift in 2020. If you accept it, then you get a spacious and really beautifully designed cabin. Dashboard is quite far from you, so there is a lot of space in the front. Back seats, as I have told, are comfortable but not so spacious as you might expect. And we have huge trunk with 640 liters. So I think there are clear priorities. Front seats, trunk space, and then rear seats. This model is almost 10 years old, but multimedia is still modern and easy to use. Position behind the wheel is very good, and again, great steering wheels, especially this one, after facelift. Also, it is important to pick the car with the right trim. It changes whole atmosphere. I'm not a big fan of this fake aluminium, I prefer open pure wood. All-terrain E-Class is equipped with 9-speed G-Tronic torque converter transmission. The recommendation for oil change is from 60 to 80,000 kilometers, max every 100,000 kilometers. 9G-Tronic is a reliable transmission, but check carefully first-year model cars from 2016 and 17. Shifts must be smooth. Permanent all-wheel drive is a reliable system, but do not forget to maintain it properly. Every 30,000 kilometers should be inspection of transfer case and differentials, and every 60,000 kilometers you should change fluid in Firmatic system. In all-terrain, we have only one possibility of suspension, Airmatic. And how it rides? Calm and surprising. Surprising because in low speeds you wouldn't even realize that you have air suspension. It feels like a normal estate. Definitely after a few kilometers you don't feel that is an extra comfortable air suspension ride. So there is a small disappointment. Advantage of the air suspension you will feel on the motorway in high speeds, and also because you have possibility of changing ride height. Airmatic in S2113 is a reliable system. Around 150,000 kilometers, it is possible that you will hear some knocking sounds from the suspension. And sometimes the only way how to get rid of this nasty knocking sound is to change whole air strut, and it is expensive. On the other hand, for me it is a better riding vehicle than GLE. Models and engines. Entry-level models E200 and E220 diesel are powered by a good and reliable 2-liter petrol and diesel engines. I think 220 diesel suits more to the character of all-terrain, but if you live in the city and often do short trips, E200 petrol will be a better choice. You will get rid of typical diesel problems like NOx sensors, air valve and deep air filter. Also, you can find E350D with a V6 diesel engine OM642 with 1 turbo. E350D is powered by a latest version of this engine, so again it is a reliable unit. But you have to change oil every 15,000 kilometers. This engine can have problems with the lubrication of cylinders if oil is in a poor condition. From 2018, 350D with the 210 kilowatts and 400D with the 250 kilowatts are powered by a new inline 6 diesel. So far it looks like a reliable engine. Only Mercedes in 2022 made a big recall on the coolant pump, so make sure that your car is after a recall service. Still, when something is new, it is always better to buy a later year production model. So, with the new inline 6 diesel, I prefer cars after 220. The last model is E450 with the new inline 6 petrol engine, a replacement for a great V6 M276. So far, it looks like a very good successor. It was a very expensive new car, so it is almost impossible to find E450 as used. So conclusion, for me, Mercedes E-Class all-terrain is all about great value for money. Yes, you can spec your new all-terrain for 125,000 euro, but I think then you totally miss the point of this car, because all-terrain for 70,000 euro will serve you same amount of happiness for a much lower price. My choice, I would definitely buy E220 diesel all-terrain. Thank you for watching and see you next time.